Okay, this is your example 2 for box and whiskers. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my list of values, put them in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to do that quick. I have to do this step. It might seem like a little bit of a silly step to take, but this will ensure that we all have the same values marked off on our graph. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 values. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Always good to check. The first thing that I'm going to do is find my minimum and my maximum. My minimum here is 1 and my maximum is 21. Remember, now that's going to give me the ends of my whiskers on my graph. Then I'm going to find this quartile 2, which is my median, okay? So I'm gonna count myself in here, count myself in, okay? And I find out that that number 9 right here, and I'm gonna put a box around it, is my quartile 2 or my median. And now I'm gonna look at the values to the left of the 9 to find that quartile 1 number. So I've got 2 numbers here, 2 numbers here, and I end up with a quartile 1 value of 5. So that's going to be the beginning of my box when I graph it. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Remember, I'm not including that number 9. I'm going to work to the right of it. I'm going to start here and count in and count in. So I found out that the number 14 is my quartile 3. Now I'm ready to go ahead and construct myself a little box plot here. So I always draw my minimum and maximum lines first. So my minimum line here is 1 and my maximum line here is 21. So there's my minimums and my maximums. Now I'm ready to construct my quartiles. When I do my quartiles, I just draw the 3 lines and then I kind of play a little connect the dot. So I've got a line at 5. That was where my quartile 1 was. I've got a line at 9, that's where my quartile 2 or my median was, and I've got a line at 14, that's where my quartile 3 or the upper quartile was. So now that I have these 3 drawn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of connect them together. These 3 quartiles are what's making up my box in my box and whiskers. Once I have that done, I can go ahead and connect my box to either end of my whiskers. So what I end up with, this line is my minimum, and this line is my maximum, and this line is my quartile 1, and this median line here is my quartile 2, and this line is my quartile 3. So I have taken all of the 5 numbers in my 5 number summary now, and I have graphed them on a number line so that I've got my quartiles all worked out here. Okay, so you can see that there's a shorter line here coming off to the minimum number than there is going off to the maximum number. They're not always going to turn out all cutesy-tootsy right in the middle of my number line. It can shift one way or the other. I might have only had a couple of numbers down here. My whisker over here could have actually been very small, and my whisker over here could have been long. So depending on my data that I'm working with, would depend on how much of a shift there is in my box. Okay, so next you're going to try a draw it. I want you to try the draw it and then watch my video to see the solution for it, and then I'll have you try a draw it independently that I will grade.